Sorry, we do not have time for a full review in this video, but there will be a part 3.
In this video we will be providing a full review, update, dual boot, and fresh, clean installation of Omarchy 3.02 ISO. And, it's Omarchy not Omarchy by the way.
You think you can just walk away after what you did? I've been waiting for this moment. You're not getting out of here until you me the truth.
I am sorry. It was me. Typecraft. I was only trying to help.
Then I saw a YouTube video. And the bastard who made it and dragged me into this obsession is actually sitting right over there. It is Mr. Typecraft himself.
Ha ha ha. It was him. He was the one. He was the one who led me to create Omarchy.
Before I begin explaining my experience with Omarchy, I just want to bring your attention to
the pros and cons of Omarchy.
The pros: a polished, cohesive out-of-the-box experience, less time spent configuring the basics. 2. Keyboard-first, tiling-centric workflow, which can be extremely efficient once learned. 3. Developer-centric tools pre-installed, reducing friction to get coding. 4. Full disk encryption by default, a strong security baseline. 5. Strong visual, thematic consistency, themes, UI components, and elegant design. 6. Good documentation and a growing community. 7. Rolling updates with migration tooling, to help maintain configuration compatibility. 8. Backed by notable names, DHH, 37 Signals, and infrastructure support, Cloudflare.
The cons: there's a steep learning curve for users unfamiliar with tiling, keyboard navigation, and script-driven systems. 2. It assumes a single-user encrypted disk model, may be inconvenient for shared machines. 3. The use of community repos like chaotic.cx by default poses trust, attack surface considerations. 4. Updates or migrations might introduce breaking changes, especially given the nascent nature of the project. 5. Some users may prefer more GUI-centric or beginner-friendly desktop paradigms, GNOME, KDE, rather than tiling. 6. Dual boot Windows compatibility is weak or discouraged. 7. Because its new ecosystem, themes, user contributions, is smaller than mature distros.
Alright, and there's Omarchy booting up. Booting up, no, booting up. Yep, there you have it. Omarchy's up. Alright, so we're back here for another video, and as you can see, I have the Windows up and running on the Lenovo laptop. And guess what? There's no fair noise, which means I fixed it for about 50 bucks. That's a good thing. So now let's see if we can get back into, what was that program called again? Omarchy. So let's restart the PC. And I think I'll just show you the mess in the BIOS again. And I discovered what the mess really was. It's because Omarchy has a separate or different kind of utility that they are using in the startup menu, or at least in the BIOS. And I think it was called, goodness, why is this taking so long to restart? Let me just show you first once I get into the BIOS. So here we go. If we go into the BIOS, and you can see the boot there, and I will try and scream on it. It has the Windows Boot Manager on the Samsung device. I think that's the 1 terabyte. No, that's the 512 gigabytes. Then Omarchy on a solid state drive, which is 1 terabyte, and Ubuntu. We discovered that Ubuntu is no longer there. But here's the other kicker. If I pronounce it correctly, the Lamine, this is the Omarchy's bootloader manager or something like that. And it says that below that, it says Arch Linux Lamine bootloader. So that's exactly what they are using as their bootloader. And then of course there's the EFI hard drive, which is not installed at the moment, or it's not really been used. Update, upgrade, Omarchy, but just bear that in mind. This is what I see in the boot. All right, so as you can see, I'm using my So I don't know if you can hear there, but that's actually a fan making noise, and that's the repaired fan. So my fan is working again. It's trying to cool it down. I'm not attached to any Wi-Fi right now or powering through the cable. It's just pure battery, so I can understand why the fan would start spinning. But let's get into Omarchy and see actually what's going on. Oh, sorry, I didn't select the Omarchy setup. Let's get back into that again, my mistake. And let's just select Omarchy. There we go, save and exit. And we're waiting for that beautiful Omarchy logo to come up. The guy who repaired my fan said, by the way, "Oh, did you do that?" I said, "Yeah." Obviously, not knowing that it wasn't me. But anyway, I forgot the password. Can you believe that? It's not. Let's see if it's working. Omarchy starting. Obviously, that password didn't work. Let's try that one. And as you can see, I don't know what team this is. Do I have Wi-Fi? It kind of looks like I don't have Wi-Fi. So if I click that, there's several Wi-Fi's going on here. And from what I can see is that I got to select a Wi-Fi option. Now, if I can think correctly, it should use the tab key. So I'm going to go to tab here, and I'm going to select one of them to do. And I think now once you select the different section, you use the arrow key to go down. So I'm going to use that one, which is at 54%. Hit enter. This is all through the keyboard, by the way. I'm hitting enter right now. Does that select it? I'll select the spacebar. Okay, I think it was a spacebar. Now I'm going to enter the password. So the password is, let me check. And so here, after entering the password, it says no networks, hidden faults, auto connect true, 60% signal, and it says here it's connected. So hopefully we have Wi-Fi connection. Now you might be asking, if you're going to update, why don't you just use the full LAN connection? And that could be a good answer to say, or to use. But I wanted to see if the Wi-Fi was working, and now it is. With a 62% signal, can I update the system? I think I can. Let's just see if we can get the terminal up and running. Let's see if we can quit this. That's how to quit. Let's see if we can get something going here as far as... Alright, now I do not want to do the screensaver, suspend or anything. As you remember, this is the beta release. So I need to get to update. And update over here, as you can see, is over there. Apps, learn, capture, toggle, style, setup, install, remove, and update. So I'm going to click update here and hit enter. And of course we want to update Omarchy. So let's hit enter again. And here we go. It says, "We trust you have received the usual lecture from the local system administrator." It usually boils down to these three things: respect the privacy of others, think before you type. With great power comes great responsibility. Didn't that come from somebody? For security reasons, password you type will not be visible. So password for naughty codes, and it says sudo over there. So I'm going to type in my password. I'm sorry, it's the wrong password. All right, let's try this again. So there we go, update Omarchy. So it's going through this whole process of updating Omarchy after I enter the correct password. So as you can see, there is a lot going on here right now. Total download size is 2082 megabytes, I think. Total installed size is 5600 megabytes. And the net upgrade size is 214 megabytes. Now, I don't really know from this version, the beta version, if I'm going to be automatically upgraded to version 3. I'm assuming that would be the case, but we can always do the check after the update is made. But it seems at the moment it is automatically installing the JDK, the LibreOffice Fresh, the Linux kernel update to 6.16.8, Chromium, and the Signal desktop. I do not know how long it's going to take, but what I do know is that it's only completed 1 out of 259. So this could take a long time. I am going to keep this running at the moment, and then what I'll try and do is I'll cut out snippets from the video where you basically don't need to watch it because, I mean, it's an update, right? So I'm just going to keep this running for posterity's sake, and I will show you that I'm now on 3 minutes and 53 seconds, counting. So I will tell you how long an update should take with 62% signal on the Wi-Fi. But what I do want to note is that there's a fair noise, which makes me really happy about that. And like I said, I got it fixed. I had a third party do it for me. So now remember, this is a dual boot as well. So, and many people have said you can do Omarchy in a dual boot. Well, this hard drive has, like I showed you before in the BIOS, it has 2 separate hard drives. One is a solid state drive and one is an NVMe drive. I forgot which one's which, but I'm sure if you go back in the video, you should see the BIOS, you'll be able to notice that one is a 512 gigs and the other one is a 1 terabyte. The 1 terabyte, where I think Omarchy is being installed on, is the NVMe. Left side there of this panel, you would notice that it is installing some things. Like I said before, Chromium, the Linux kernel, the JDK. It's doing Signal desktop, Rust, Qt6, Linux firmware for Intel and NVIDIA, Electron 37, Yaru, Hyperland, Noto, Linux firmware, Noto fonts, Linux firmware, Docker, .NET runtime, Linux firmware, Ghost Script, Kadian Live. There's one thing I want to point out to you, that while watching some other people, and I will leave a reference popping up on the screen right now, some people have questioned how this has been done. And I think DHH and people at 37 Signals have rewritten certain parts of the code to make it an ISO, number one, and number two, to change it to their liking. So obviously, it's not really an Arch-based system like that. It's a custom Arch Linux distribution, which I think they have altered, and I can see clearly that it's not basic Arch, because basic Arch wouldn't have some of these things installed in it. And I think those people who are expecting basic Arch should just go and install basic Arch Linux by themselves. I don't know if this also created problems for the Arch repository, as there were serious problems with people doing a DDoS attack on it, and also several malware found in a few of the packages. But I can clearly say, or think, that, oh, there we go, I gotta enter the password. Now that is new. As you can see, it's not like the previous one. You gotta enter a new password. So let's see if this works. By the way, my caps lock is not working on my keyboard, so I'm just using Shift to do something that I need in my password. But just to let you know, that caps lock wasn't working. Need the password there for something. Don't really know what. Stop restarting Waybar. Okay, so it says here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, I'll try and focus on it, that it says running migration, remove any chaotic AUR infrastructure packages. The password is needed. So I'm going to enter the password again. Let's see, sorry, if the password is needed. I haven't seen before in an update, well, I haven't actually updated Omarchy before, that I actually needed to enter a password twice. But in any case, I also think that the OS is custom designed, like I've said before. So obviously it's going to be different to, okay, here's another issue coming up. It says add screen recording indicated to Waybar. And I'm going to say yes to that. Replace current Waybar config. Backup will be made. Yes. So unlike other systems that just automatically updates your system in the GUI, this is doing it via a terminal, which I think many developers prefer. And the questions come from the terminal. Then this kernel has been updated, reboot. I guess I gotta say yes. There we go. Because the kernel is updated, I have to reboot. Now it wasn't only a sit still and watch kind of update, it seemed like I actually have to do something here. My goodness. Alright, I've entered the password. And now let's see if Omarchy is going smooth and great. Alright, there's a command not found, Walker. And there is a new pop-up screen that comes up here. It says Hyperland is maintained by volunteers and led by one person in their free time. Your support is valuable and help fund Hyperland's continuous existence. You can donate once or monthly, and it takes less than 5 minutes. We also have Hyper Perks, which is €5 plus tax per month, and gives you access to a few thank you goodies from us. I will consider donating later, so I'm going to say no things, and I don't know what this error means. I'll have to find out. Right, so does this mean that the update has been made? How can I see which version of Linux is running? I hopefully think that, there we go, let's open the terminal, and can we run NeoFetch? The obligatory NeoFetch? Let's see, command not found. What was the other one they had in there? FastFetch. Is FastFetch installed, maybe? Yes, FastFetch is installed. And so we have a new logo that kind of looks different to what it previously was. But as you can see, the PC I'm using, and nice icons on the side, by the way. I'll just zoom in or put the screen closer for you so you can see. I have an IdeaPad 3, 12th gen Intel Core i5, Intel Iris graphics, 1920 by 1080. There's 15 gigabytes on BTRFS, and 1.3 gigs for something else, and therefore. And if we look at the software, it says Omarchy is running v3.0.02. Dev Linux version 6.16.8, Arch 3-1. Hyperland version is 0.51.1. Wayland, the terminal is Alacrity at 0.15.1. Pacman, there are 849 packages. The theme is Token Light, and Alacrity at 9 points. And then the uptime is 35 days. OS age is 35 days, and the uptime is 2 minutes. So there you go, guys. Using FastFetch, we can see what is on this. We have the new Omarchy version running, and I'm now going to try and play with it and give you a full review later. So I just entered BTOP in the terminal, and here it is. So you can see the CPU is running at about 27-28 degrees. This is my, hold on a sec. This is the mem size and disk space we've got going here. We've got root using use 2%, swap 0%, and you can see they automatically did the disk sectioning by itself. So I have 951 gigs as my root. The swap is 3 or 9 gigs or 44 gigs. The PKG is using 2%. The logs are using 2%. Home is 2%, and home is 951 gigs. Boot system is 101 megabytes. If I'm reading that correctly, please you can correct me in the comments down below. For the mem, there is total 15.3 gigs, and it's used 7%. 93% is available, 7% cached, and 88% free. That is my local IP address. Downloads of this and that. And here I have running Hyperland, BTOP, Waybar, Systemd, Alchemy, Contained, WayOSD server, and some other programs running. Some of the programs I'm not really aware of, but that gives you an idea of exactly what I got from the update. Now let's go through some of the features in the new version of Omarchy. So when I upgraded the system, I kept getting this error, which is error command not found Walker. And I think that's the reason why I cannot use control, that's probably the reason why I can't use one of the functions to bring up the launcher. Because launcher would be super key plus space, and I don't get that. Well, actually it's gone to sleep right now, but I don't get that anyway. So I went searching on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT came up with the following message, that the launcher is having some issues. And I think you can do that yourself, but what basically it's saying is that error means your shell is trying to run a command called Walker, but the binary or script doesn't exist in your path. So on Omarchy OS, specifically DHH's customized version, Walker isn't the standard Linux command. It's based on context from people testing Omarchy. So Walker is the app launcher, search utility. DHH bundled a lightweight launcher named Walker, similar in spirit to Rofi or D menu, used to open applications or find files quickly. If you get command not found Walker, it usually means either the Walker package isn't installed, the binary isn't in your path, maybe it's installed under USR local bin or up, but not linked. You're in a minimal install on Omarchy that doesn't include optional tools. So maybe my upgrade wasn't a full upgrade after all. ChatGPT has also come up with a fix for this, and the first thing they would say is check if it's installed. So which Walker? And if that output nothing, it's missing, search the package manager, APK, since Omarchy is Alpine based. I thought it was Arch based. Anyway, app search Walker, and if you see it, install it with sudo app add Walker. Now, why would they use sudo app APK? Sorry, my mistake. Sudo APK add Walker. If a package exists, Omarchy might not ship it as a package. It may need to be built from source or enabled by the .files DHH provided. In that case, check Omarchy's GitHub or .files repo for Walker references. Sometimes Walker is just a wrapper script for Wofi or Rofi. That could be the case, guys. So I'll have to do a quick test by running Wofi --show drun. Alright, so here is me asking ChatGPT, is APK search Walker and sudo APK add Walker the correct commands? And it comes back to telling me, yes, those are correct Alpine and package manager commands. Omarchy is Alpine based. Now I thought actually Omarchy is Arch based, not Alpine based. So maybe ChatGPT is wrong? Could it be? An AI chat being wrong? Anyway, but here's the catch. I don't think there's an official Alpine package called Walker. If you run APK search Walker, you'll most likely get no results, which is true. I didn't get any results. That's why you're seeing the error. Omarchy expects Walker to exist, probably as a custom script alias or a renamed tool like Wofi. I didn't find Wofi either, but it's not provided as a standard package. Next steps, I'll recommend run grep Walker blah 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 blah, and to see if Wofi is just an alias, try APK search Wofi. If it shows up, install it with sudo APK add Wofi. Now, I'm disagreeing with APK because I don't think Omarchy is Alpine based. I think it's Arch based. Alright, now just to show you the evidence to enlighten you to the fact that I'm not actually lying. Here you have my inputs into the terminal. I did an APK search Walker, and the command was I found APK, sudo APK add Walker. This is all the instructions from ChatGPT, by the way. There again, the APK, sudo APK not command not found, and then I did Wofi --show drun, which is also what ChatGPT said, and it says bash command not found Wofi. So we're left with a really confusing statement, one from ChatGPT and the other one from DHH. But let's try and clarify this. So there's an easy way to confirm whether Omarchy is running Arch instead of what ChatGPT is saying that it's running Alpine. I'll just do sudo pacman -syu and see what happens. It's asking me for my password. Alright, so there you can see it is actually updating something or upgrading something. So let's just go proceed with this and follow on. Definitely Arch, not Alpine, ChatGPT. There you go, it's done the updates. And just for convenience sake, I'm going to restart the PC to see if it is going to run. So the error is still coming up, error, command not found, Walker. So I think what it's time to do is to just delete the entire Omarchy and do a fresh install and see if that makes a big difference. So that's as much as we're going to get with the upgrade from the beta release to version 3. Yes, I know you saw that there was a version 3. Now we're going to scratch everything off the hard drive and do a fresh install, and we'll have to download the ISO by itself. Stay tuned.
In this last section, I am just downloading a fresh copy of 3.0.2, and as you can see, it's going a little bit slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed up the video a little bit, and once this is downloaded, we'll be able to burn it onto a USB stick and install the latest version of Omarchy on the Lenovo laptop. It's done.
Alright, we're back in the BIOS of our IdeaPad 3. And we're now going to move to the boot. And I'm going to boot from the EFI USB. So that moves it up here. And we're going to see if we can boot from Bento this time. Okay, taking a little bit of time. And there we go. We've got Arch Linux, Omarchy, Ubuntu desktop, and Ubuntu server. The Ubuntu desktop and server is just for backup. Arch for backup as well. And Omarchy, here goes the Omarchy install. So I'm going to select Omarchy and see if we have errors. Yes, we have errors. So it's not working with Omarchy. I have to come up with a plan. Oh wait, Omarchy's just come alive, it seems. How? I don't know. But for some reason, the Omarchy install all of a sudden is working, and I have the option. That was a surprise, my goodness. Let's go through the setup here. And excuse me for the shaking of the disk. I'm going to try and fix that. Okay, so we've had to scale it down a little bit. I'm going to try and look for the keyboard that I'm really using right now. I'm not sure which one I'm using, but let's see if it's got it. Let's use an English US keyboard, all right? And on that one, a username. We're going to choose a simple username for this. Let's see if we're actually focusing on this for you. Without spaces. Yes, naughty codes. That's our username. Enter a password. Use for user plus root plus encryption. My goodness, all three in one. Can't I separate it? Okay, let's create a password now. Let's hope that works. Confirm must match the password you just typed. All right. All right. Let's set up your user account full name. Use forget authentication. Hit return to skip. I'm going to skip this now because I forgot my stories. Okay, email address. All right, let's just enter our favorite email address. Yep, that's correct. Enter on that. And let's set up your, didn't I already? Hostname. Okay, let's just use the hostname as Omarchy. Enter that. Time zone. Okay, let's just use Denver time because that's the way life goes. Press enter for that, and here we go. We have username, naughty codes, password, blah blah blah, full name skipped, email, blah blah blah, hostname, Omarchy, time zone, American Denver, and use keyboard. Does this look right? Let's say yes. Now, where are we going to sort this thing? Let's select where to install Omarchy. We're going to install Omarchy on SDB, and not on the NVMe drive because that's where my Windows drive is. We're going to select the solid state drive, which is that one. Everything will be overwritten. There's no recover possible. Oh yes, okay, yes, format disk. So yes to that, and it's installing. So I'm going to take a quick. Now I want you to understand that there is no internet connection to this laptop. There is no power connection to this laptop. It is running off the battery, and now this Omarchy installation is running off. It says there you may reboot your system. Proceed with installation. Retrieving packages. Now I haven't touched the keyboard once after entering all my details. So let's see how it goes. Okay, there we've got the Omarchy installed in 5 minutes and 34 seconds. Remember to remove the USB installer. So reboot now. I'm going to enter and try to remove stuff. So here's the restart that's happening. I don't know if it's going to restart in Windows or Omarchy. Let's find out. And it seems to be Omarchy. So here we go, the password. And we're booting to Omarchy 3.02 for the first time on a bare bone unit. Actually, it's a dual boot. So let's see if the dual boot will work. There we go, folks. That's the Omarchy desktop screen. Welcome to Omarchy. You're in for a great computing adventure. Have fun. Update system. When you're internet, click the update the system. Click to set up Wi-Fi. Tab between sections, spaces, selects, question mark for help. Okay, I'm going to do that now, but I'll do it later. But let's first see. And there we go. It's failed to retrieve error because I'm not connected to a Wi-Fi unit. Pressing key to close. Of course, it's not going to see anything because I've not connected to the internet. But anyway, that's your bare bone system. I want to know if something works. So, that didn't happen in the update message before. So I can now have programs here. Yep, I've got. Is this what's that called? Waffle, Rofi? Is that Rofi? That's the terminal. So I'm gonna close that down. Open terminals open twice, and there's no internet connection. That's fine by me. Ah, there we go. Which one was that? Let's see. Was it this one? Ah, it's that one. It's the super key and the escape to get up to this thing, which will allow you to lock, screensaver, suspend, relaunch, restart, or shut down. I am going to shut down and come back to you later on this. So that was a very fast installation of Omarchy. Now we're going to check to see if it can dual boot into Windows off this fresh install. There we go. It's going to restart. And I'm going to go into the BIOS and see if I can boot up. Yes, I can get to the BIOS there. That was directly from the machine. And here we go. Because I mixed up and messed up BIOS again, but at least it's there. So let's put the Windows Boot Manager on top and see if we can boot into Windows. Not that we need Windows anyway, but we just want to see if we can boot into it. It's taking quite a long time. So I just want you to realize that if we're getting Windows, Windows is on one hard drive, 512 megabyte hard drive, and it seems we can boot into that. And Omarchy is on a 1 terabyte hard drive. There you go. So now you can boot into Windows with no problems. I had no issues there. Lovely. It's working again. So now I'm going to see if I can boot back into Omarchy. Restart again. It's taking some time to restart. Windows always creates these problems, right? Windows always creates problems. Yes, we're back in BIOS. Let's follow the rules. Let's choose Omarchy as our best operating system to boot up from. Yes to this, and let's find out if we can boot up into Omarchy. This is using a second hard drive on the same laptop. There we go. Password is going to be this. voila, we're into Omarchy again. I'm going to leave it like that. Now, in the next section, I will show you all the features, quirks, and exciting parts of this new operating system called Omarchy. Catch you later, guys.
If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notifications bell so you won't miss more easy tips like this. And hey, drop a comment if you have any questions or want me to cover something specific. I'm here to help. Have a good day and see you in the next video.